Guys, welcome back to Precision Rifle Network. Today is all about this 7mm PRC. We are going to be stretching its legs today, but first we got to get it zeroed at 100 yards. This is the same rifle that I used in a previous video. I'll link it below in the description. You can check that out if you'd like. When we first built it, it had a 29-inch barrel because I was hoping to get all that extra speed, but it was disappointing. So we brought it back into 25 inches. So it's a 25-inch barrel, 7 PRC, obviously. We got a Terminus Zeus long action for the action. We've got a Grayboe stock here. We've got the MDT Ckyepod underneath the front, and we've got the Maven RS for the optic. Get her zeroed in here at 100 yards with factory Hornady 175 grain ELDX. We are going to actually be testing some hand loads on it today. This isn't really truing up a load specifically for this rifle. This is more of a, I wanted to just kind of load some very similar loads to factory ammo, but I wanted to jump them a little bit further. So the factory loads are jumped about 20 thousandths. My hand loads are almost identical to the factory loads, but I'm jumping them 40 thousandths instead. So I don't know what kind of consistency I'm going to get out of them. It's factory Hornady brass. It's 67 and some odd grains of H1000. I'm using just standard CCI large rifle primers, brand new Hornady brass that hasn't been processed. So I'm not sure exactly what we're going to get, but first things first, we're going to use the factory ammo to get it on paper. Let's get going with that. Okay guys, so we've got it zeroed, the scope zeroed to the rifle now. We were about a mil off. Windage was decent, we got that dialed in. I'm gonna go ahead and put a 3-shot group down there with the factory Hornady ammo just to give you a baseline of what the rifle will do. And that'll be technically 6 shots on the chronograph. So we'll have some data basically for the factory ammo, and then we'll start in with our various hand loads. Challenging conditions here today. We've got the sun directly into our faces, which is just the best that we could do. We've got some tall grasses that we're technically kind of looking through with the scope, so our image isn't super clear. We've got some issues. We're doing the best we can here today, and there's no scope or target footage for you on this. I'll have to pop up the results on the screen because of the sun, and the camera would have to then be directly facing into the sun, and it just wouldn't be able to correct for those deep shadows on the target itself properly. So excuses, nonetheless, here we go. All right, through the scope I can tell that those are all inside of a minute, which is what we're hoping for. I'll get you some data up on the screen, and then next we're going to switch to the hand loads. This next set of hand loads I loaded with Ramshot LRT, and I'm jumping these 40 thousandths as well. 71.5 and 70 up to 72.5 grains of the Ramshot LRT. And then I've got a completely separate set of hand loads that is 67.4 grains of H1000. So guys, I just realized that I misspoke on those first couple of rounds, the first 4 shots that I took. Those were loaded with H1000, not Ramshot LRT. This one that I just fired is 70 grains of Ramshot LRT, and I'm working my way up because I don't know what it's supposed to be. 70 grains of Ramshot LRT, pushing the 175 grain ELDX, yielded me 2,614 feet per second. Not amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and jump that up. Still low, 2650. 2730 feet per second. Last one I have is 72.5. We're not going to get there with Ramshot LRT today, guys, but I've got more H1000. We're going to try that out. At 2730. Now we've got my last set of hand loads. This is roughly where I think I want my load to be. This is 67.4 grains of H1000. Virgin Hornady brass, large rifle primers, just standard CCI. This is the 175 grain ELDX from Hornady. And we're just gonna do a 3-shot group at 100 yards. And we're gonna take the chronograph data, punch that into our Kestrel, and we're gonna go straight to 600 yards with these hand loads, see what we can get. 2853, which is about where I want to be, between 2850 and 2900, and standard deviation of 13. So not too bad for first shot out of brand new virgin brass. I would like to have that in single digits, of course, but that's 3 shots, not loading in the best possible like match grade conditions. So we're gonna run with it. Let me get my data and everything entered into the Kestrel. We're gonna switch positions, show you the 600 yard target, which we should be able to get on camera, and we'll go from there. You should be able to see the target through the target cam this time. We've got all data put into the Kestrel. It is calling for 3.7 mils to 654 yards. We've got a 10 to 13 mile an hour wind coming generally from our 7 o'clock, which has got me holding about half mil, 0.5, 0.6 on the wind. I will start with the 0.6. Impact, far right. Oh, I was actually holding only 0.2 of wind. I was all confused, like what the heck's going on? Realized I was only holding about 0.2 to 0.3 of wind instead of 5 to 6, which makes the difference from a center hit like I would have just gotten to that right edge hit, which is what I did get. So here we go again. Hopefully with the proper wind, here we go. There we go. That time we were on the pro side. We weren't on the far left, even though that's the swinger. It kind of overlaps that next one in. Let's go again. Yep, we're just left to center. I can see those impacts. It's just swinging both of those plates. So we got good impacts. Elevation is perfect. Windage is good too. Nice. No pressure signs. We're still averaging 2850 feet per second. We were 2853 before. Now we're 2846. So that's within 10 feet per second of that standard deviation where we were before. The point of this video was kind of a backup, or I guess a redo of my previous 7 PRC video. It was this exact same build, but we had a 29-inch barrel. And we just, even with that extra 4 or so inches of barrel, we still weren't able to get the 3,000 feet per second that we wanted, especially not without getting pressure signs. I opted to cut down to 25 inches, which saved me weight. The overall rifle weight is sitting at about 11 pounds or so. Might be a little bit more with the Ckyepod, but that's not the normal bipod that I run for this hunting rig. Usually I use the Gunworks bipod, which is quite a bit lighter weight. And so the whole goal was to cut the weight off, of course, get a shorter, more wieldy rifle. So we've got 25 inches. Of course, I've got the Cortina tuner brake up on front, which we haven't messed with at all. I just want it for the recoil reduction. It obviously is hitting inside of that ethical distance for this cartridge. 650 is a max for me on hunting, which is, you know, a good reason for putting that target out at this distance today. So thanks for watching today, guys. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned for more great videos from Precision Rifle Network.